This is a presentation on the Greek and Roman gods and goddesses by Ashley Givens, Amber Simmons, Marissa Lucas, Ashleigh R, Monae S, and Dominique C. Zeus is the Greek god of the sky and the king of gods. He is the first of gods and a very imposing figure. He is the ruler of heaven and earth. He is a god who always controls lightning and thunder, and the king of Mount Olympus, which is the home of the Greek gods, where he rules the world and imposes his will onto the gods. He is married to his sister Hera and is very protective over her. He's a carefree god, very wise, and a fair god who is very merciful, prudent, and unpredictable. He is easily angered if you are doing wrong, and he could be very destructive.
Jupiter is the Roman god. He's a ruler of the gods and the god of the sky, lightning, and thunder. He's the son of Saturn, equivalent to Zeus. He is the brother of Neptune, Pluto, and Juno. Juno is also his wife. He is the symbol of the eagle, his messenger. He is considered the patron of Rome, and his temple was the official place of state businesses and sacrifices.
Poseidon is the Greek god of the sea. He is the god of the sea, earthquakes, storms, and horses. Poseidon was married to Amphitrite, and he gained his power after the fall of the Titans. And he is considered the most badly tempered god, very moody, and a very greedy Olympian god. Neptune is also used as the basis for Trident, king of the sea, in the film The Little Mermaid. And Ursula is very similar to Medusa, and their rivalry and hatred towards each other can be explained by Neptune's mythology. Neptune is the Roman equivalent to Poseidon. He is god of the sea, also worshipped as god of horses. He's the brother of Jupiter, Pluto, and Juno, and the trident is his attribute. Neptune, his fun facts or some mythology about him. He delayed the return of Odysseus from the Trojan War by causing his boat to be shipwrecked. The planet Neptune was named after the Roman god, as its deep blue gas clouds gave the early astronomers the impression of great oceans and seas. And Medusa can be explained by she had a relationship with a beautiful priestess on the floor of the temple dedicated to the goddess Minerva, and after that she was cursed and changed into a gorgon, and that's the monstrous mythical creature that we know as Medusa.
Athena is the goddess of wisdom and war. She's also the goddess of courage, inspiration, math, and strength. She's the daughter of Zeus. There are two stories about how she was born. One story is that she was born directly from Zeus's forehead and sprang out in full armor. Another story is that Zeus slept with Metis, who is the goddess of crafty thought and wisdom, then swallowed her whole so she wouldn't fulfill the prophecy of a more powerful offspring. She guarded the city of Athens, where the Parthenon was built in her honor. The Parthenon is the temple in Greece. She was portrayed in the Iliad as a fierce and skilled warrior and fought alongside the heroes.
Minerva is the Roman goddess. She is the goddess of wisdom, learning, the arts, sciences, medicine, dyeing, trade, and war. She is the daughter of Jupiter, the protectress of commerce and industry and education. Today, in the spring equinox, she is honored in a festival from March 19th to the 23rd. It's called the Quinquatria. She is the Greek equivalent to Athena.
Ares is the god of war. He represents the more violent and brutal side, whereas Athena represents the more skillful and strategic side. He is the son of Zeus and Hera, who are the king and queen of the gods. However, he was very unpopular due to his volatile nature and was worshipped very little by humans.
Mars is the god of war. He's one of the most worshipped and prominent gods. He's the Roman equivalent to Ares. And in early Roman history, he was god of spring, growth in nature, fertility, and the protector of cattle. And he is the son of Jupiter and Juno. Mars festivals at Rome occurred in the spring and the fall, the beginning and end of both agricultural and military seasons. The month of March, which was named after him, was especially filled with festivals, wholly or partially in his honor. And Anna Pereira quite fancied herself the handsome war god for herself, so she double-crossed Mars by disguising herself as Minerva and wearing a veil. She tricked the god into marrying her. Currently in culture, we see like gods of war and things like that portrayed in films like Thor and other like Roman films and legends.
Aphrodite is the Greek goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation. With her natural beauty and a magical girdle, Aphrodite compelled everyone to desire her. She was married to Hephaestus, but had an affair with her brother Ares, the god of war. She was usually accompanied by Eros, the godling of love, who was referred to as Cupid. She was often depicted with a golden apple, which was awarded to her after the judgment of Paris, a dove, and a mirror. There have been 2 accounts of her birth, saying that she was the daughter of Zeus and Dione, but more prevalent was that she arose from the sea on a giant scallop after Cronus castrated Uranus and tossed his genitals into the sea. Aphrodite has affected society in many ways. Movies about Aphrodite include The Birth of Aphrodite in 1971, Aphrodite in 1982, Aphrodite, Goddess of Love in 1958, If Aphrodite Had Arms in 2007, and the most popular, Hercules in 1997. There's also foods, drinks, or drugs that stimulate sexual desire called aphrodisiacs. Some of them include oysters, chocolate, avocados, honey, figs, which were used by Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, olive oil, which were used by the Greeks to make women fertile, and coffee.
Venus is the goddess of love, sex, beauty, and fertility. The Roman counterpart to Aphrodite, she was also the goddess of victory, fertility, and prostitution. According to Hesiod's Theogony, Aphrodite was born of the foam from the sea after Saturn castrated his father, Uranus, and his blood fell to the sea. Venus's divine lovers and children. Venus's 2 main lovers were her husband, Vulcan, and Mars. She bore no children with Vulcan, but with Mars gave birth to Timur, the personification of fear, who accompanied his father into battle, and his twin, Metis, the personification of terror. Concordia, the goddess of harmony and concord. The Cupids, who were a collection of winged love deities who represented the different aspects of love.
The Greek and Roman gods and goddesses have many connections to modern society. The characteristics of the gods and goddesses are highly valued and represented in everyday life, as well as through cultural expression. One example is Athena's influence, which is seen on the medal of the U.S. Military Academy coat of arms, which symbolizes heroism. Zeus and many of the other gods and goddesses were also emulated in the movie Hercules. Minerva's strategy in battle can be seen today through military.